implementation.
Good evening to everyone, and thanks for joining this meeting. And now my duty is to speak about implementation of the curriculum and of the portfolio. Now, please, next slide. Well, to tell the truth, I have some difficulties at the beginning to understand what really curriculum portfolio implementation mean. So I went back to the ancients to understand the roots of these words. So implementation comes from the Latin verb implere, and that means to carry out. And it is a process of putting an agreed plan or proposal or policy or idea into action. Curriculum, it is clearly a Latin word that comes from the verb curro, to run, and it means a race of horse. And it includes all experiences a learner acquires in a learning institution. Portfolio, that it is easier for me, comes from the Italian word portafogli, that comes from the Latin verb portare, to carry, and from the Latin word folium, that means leaf or sheet. That is a sheet of a student's work compiled over a period of time, used to assessing performances or progresses. Next slide, please. And just to remind a man who devoted his life to these topics, I remind you Professor John Franklin Bobbitt, an American educationist, university professor, and writer, who was a representative of the efficiency-minded thinkers who devoted his life to the field of curriculum, and himself coined this term with the meaning we know. So he's the father of the modern curriculum as we mean nowadays. Next one, please. Well, so to sum up, the curriculum consists of all the learning experiences and intended learning outcomes in a certain field, systematically planned and guided by the school. Is an instrument to achieve the objective of education, and this definition are from a Ghana professor who did a speech about education and curriculum in 2019. And the portfolio, as reported in the review Academic Medicine, is a collection of materials that represent a learner's effort, progress, and achievements in multiple areas of the curriculum. Is a tool to collect longitudinal evidence of expertise for artists, architects, writers, and students of all levels, medical postgraduate ones included. Next, please. So, as my colleague said before, all these curriculum and portfolio are the result of the collaboration between the European Board and College of Obstetrics and Gynaecology and Eurapag, who share the objective, the goal to improve education, training, and clinical expertise in the field of pediatric and adolescent gynecology. Please, next. Well, and how is the situation in Europe now about pediatric and adolescent gynecology? So we have one continental organization, Eurapag, that was built in 2008, And at the moment, meet together, we put together more than 20 national societies, 2 national groups, and 20 individual members. And PEG is recognized as a subspecialty in 3 countries in Europe: Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia, while it is considered a field of special interest by our partner EBCOG. So PEG is taught differently in each country, and it is practiced at different levels in various nations. Next one, please. So why to implement the curriculum and the portfolio in pediatric and adolescent gynecology? As my colleagues previous said, to insert PEG education both at pregraduate and postgraduate levels in every educational medical system in Europe, to offer a practical guideline for teaching and learning PEG, and also to improve clinical practice, to make PEG learning concordant with EBCOG goals. You know, EBCOG goal is to standardize education in every country in different fields of obstetrics and gynecology. Also to make PEG teaching consistent in all European PEG training centers, to allow trainees in PEG easily circulate in the whole continent, to increase trainee skills in PEG, and to improve, and it is the main goal, the level of PEG clinical practice in Europe. Next one, please. And how could we implement the European curriculum and portfolio in pediatric and adolescent gynecology? First, by advertising them during in-person or remote PEG events, by publishing them on EBCOG, Eurapag, and Fiji and other websites, by printing them in a specific booklet circulating in Europe, and this booklet will be ready at the next European Congress in Rotterdam, by strengthening collaboration with obstetrics and gynecological and pediatric societies, by fostering their adoption by European national PEG societies, and this is a very important step, by inserting them into university study programs, and that could be a final goal, by establishing an European certification of competence in PEG. To reach these goals, a very important step should be to recruit 1 or 2 PEG societies or national groups ready to apply them as a pilot experience. Next one, please. So, as a Eurapag, we foster, we wish that a national PAG society or national PAG group is ready to apply the curriculum, or would like to apply the curriculum and the portfolio. That should be a very important steps to spread the curriculum and the portfolio in the whole continent. Next. So if any group or national society is interested in this experience, in try this new path, you could contact myself, and here you can find my email address, or Professor Anastasia Vatopoulou, who is our colleagues, our Greek colleagues, both member of Eurapag, at her email address. Next one, please. And I thank you for your attention on behalf of all the Eurapag board. Thank you and have a nice evening.